Good morning, friends, and happy Wednesday. Thanks so much for joining me here with KTTC for another edition of Morning Pulse. It is November 26th, Thanksgiving Eve. Hopefully your Wednesday is off to a good start so far. If you haven't looked outside your window yet or made your way outside at all yet, you probably we'll see some snow out there because it is a first alert day, which I'll touch on just briefly at the end of this little broadcast. Obviously, that's a major one of our headlines for today with the winter weather hitting our area this morning. Kind of the first winter storm with some substantial snow in the forecast. So we'll get to that in just a little bit, but I do have 3 local news headlines to bring you on this Wednesday. So we're going to get right to it. Our first story is actually one that I am bringing you an update on from yesterday's Morning Pulse broadcast. So we're going to start with that. We're talking about kind of an update in a fatal crash. It was a head-on crash that happened just outside of Casson that left 1 woman dead and 3 other people, including a child, hurt. Well, we have an update that the Dodge County Sheriff's Office has released some of the names of the people involved in that collision. So Dodge County deputies identifying the woman who died as 46-year-old information to us from the Sheriff's Office. So rewinding a little bit, the crash took place about 2:15 on Monday afternoon. This was in the westbound lane of County Road 34 east of County Road 9 North, again in Dodge County near Casson. A witness actually says they saw a Mustang driven by Whitworth driving right in the middle of the road, and Amanda Boca, which is another name, she's from Dodge Center. She was driving a Toyota pickup truck in the opposite direction of the Mustang and wasn't able to avoid colliding with that car, which was again driven by a load. Deputies say Whitworth likely died right on impact because of this crash. Boca, we're told, as well as her 2 passengers, one who was an adult and one who was a child, were both taken to Mayo Clinic St. Mary's with some non-life-threatening injuries, so that is good news there. They have since been released from this crash. So the new information that we have on this deadly head-on collision is that we now know some of the names of the people involved. Our next headline is something that is starting today and going through the end of the year that we want to let you know about in Minnesota specifically. It's an effort to avoid preventable crashes. So today, the Minnesota Department of Public Safety is starting an extra DWI enforcement campaign. This is pretty typical for this law enforcement agency to do right around this time of year because it's a busy time of year on the roads, of course, with Thanksgiving, but it's also a time of year where we see some more people drinking and driving, essentially. So according to the Office of Traffic Safety, nearly 2,000 people were seriously hurt in impaired driving related crashes in the state of Minnesota between the years 2020 and 2024. That's a lot, and so the Department of Public Safety is trying to reduce that number for this year. The office's director, Mike Hansen, says that more than 600 people were killed in the state as a result of impaired drivers, so just another statistic there that they're trying to bring down. He says the week of Thanksgiving, of course, one of the busiest times of year out on the roads, so the extra DWI enforcement will be lasting now through the end of the year. And we just want to note that the Olmsted County Sheriff's Office is one of the hundreds of law enforcement agencies that is joining in on this campaign. So if you see more law enforcement officials out on our roads now through the end of the year in Minnesota, this is why. Just know that they are out there doing extra enforcement for anybody who is drinking while intoxicated behind the wheel. Driving while intoxicated, excuse me. All right, our third story is kind of a fun one, looking ahead to some holiday fun. We're talking about lighting up parts of Lanesboro. So once again, this holiday season, you can enjoy the Legion lights. That is something that we attended last year, which we were looking at some of the video for that. Tonight, organizers of the Legion lights actually want you to be there at Sylvan Park when they turn on all of the lights so that you can see the full display light up. So that's happening at Sylvan Park again. That's at 5 p.m. tonight, where you can see everything come to life. Then starting tomorrow is when you and your family can actually start walking through this light up winter wonderland, as we like to say. So the lights will be shining bright starting tomorrow officially for you to come and enjoy every night through the new year. That's from 5 until 10 p.m. Obviously it'll be dark and it will look great, just like in this video. A new attraction to the Lanesboro Legion Lights display this year is a light parade. So if you're interested in that, it's going on Saturday, right after the Christmas tree lighting ceremony. That's at 5 p.m. on Saturday. So if you want to go check out Lanesboro this weekend, you can see this Legion Lights display. I believe it's the second year that they're doing this holiday event, which is kind of fun. So businesses, community groups, marching bands, even Santa, all are welcome to come and get involved. Santa will definitely be there. Also adding to some of the fun for this kind of festival of lights, you could call it, is there will be some special prizes for Best Dressed Gnome and Best Dressed Dog, which is so fun and cute to think about. So if you are looking for anything this holiday season to do with you or your family, and you love a drive or a walk through light display, head on down to Lanesboro. This looks like a really good one, and obviously a big community effort to get that up and done and on for the community of Southeast Minnesota. So super cool. Those are the top 3 news headlines that I have for you on this Wednesday. Of course, it is the day before Thanksgiving, and we had a lot to talk about in the weather department today because it was a first alert day. We have had snow falling all throughout the night into the morning hours. Again, if you look outside your window now, you'll probably see some of that snow. The big headline for today, though, we haven't gotten a ton of snow that has fallen today. The big headline is the wind. So the wind is actually pretty strong right now. I'm actually looking up at a traffic camera that we have, and the camera is just shaking right now. So that's how you can tell how windy it is outside. But another reason you can tell that it's super windy is the temperature is going to feel a lot colder than what it actually is. It's going to be down into the single digits, I believe, today, the feels like temperature. So you might want to bundle up. You definitely want to bundle up if you're heading out today. Another way you can tell that the wind, or that it's a first alert day, that the wind is kind of bad, is that it is blowing the snow across roads, across yards, and all the things like that. So just be aware that could create, some issues on the roads or in your neighborhood and things like that. So yes, it is a first alert day because of what we have been seeing overnight and into this morning with the snow and the wind. So keep that in mind. But the good news is our Thanksgiving Day weather looks like it's going to be great. It will be cold, but there is nothing to report on any snow falling, any harsh winds, nothing like that. We will see some sunshine tomorrow, which is good news for anybody that's traveling on actual Thanksgiving. Okay, that is all that I have for you today in news and weather. Hopefully this was helpful for you and that you were able to be informed about what's happening in the communities around you. We do have a little bit of a shortened newscast tomorrow for KTTC Morning News on Thanksgiving. So if you're up and awake and want to tune in our newscast on your streaming devices as well as on your TVs, the news will be starting at 5 instead of 4:30 tomorrow. I will not be here. I am going to be celebrating Thanksgiving with my family. Thankfully, I am thankful for that, that I am able to do that, but no need to worry. KTTC will still have you covered with all the news, weather, and sports that you need to know on your TVs, on your streaming devices, and on all of our digital platforms. So I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Happy Thanksgiving, and I will see you next week.